for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We can take a moment of silence for the horrific shootings in Bondi, Australia, and at Brown University. We pray for those that were injured and for the families of those that were killed. Thank you, everyone. All right. Today's Tuesday, December 16th. We're at the Town of Bath Municipal Hall. Roll call. Madam Recorder.
Greg Sheen,
Present.
Susan Webster is here, Elizabeth Skinner. Here. Mary Lynn Hickey. Here. Reba Dawson.
Here.
Ryan Kessel.
Here.
And Rick Weber.
Here. Very good. Has everyone had an opportunity to review the minute meeting from the 18th? Have any questions, thoughts, revisions, or edits?
There's a major change on the 55 to 54 street lights, right? Is that right?
Yep.
Thank you, Susan. It's a lot of hard work that goes in it, every week or every other week for all.
There was Susan, another Saturday, 1
Another
minute.
Saturday.
I know.
It's one thing in the middle of January, but
Yeah.
I see that email come across at odd times, and I'm
I know. I know what Susan's doing right now. Sunday morning.
Getting it out the door.
so.
Present for comments.
Comment consent on that. Thank you. All right, that takes care of it. We have no one before council. All right. We have a few things to speak about. From the weekend, we had our Bath Christmas market and ice skating rink. And one big thing we did this year was to offer free skating for all children, courtesy of the Sealy Foundation, which was absolutely wonderful. And at last count, I was up to about 500 kids that had skated over the weekend. And again, when you look at these things, as a leadership group and as a town, you are either creating commerce or you are creating goodwill. And the difference between the two is simple. When you create commerce and you're saying 10% off today, that lasts for a day. That lasts for a moment. Goodwill, when you create goodwill, that lasts a lifetime. And the perfect example is, the 6 or 7 year old girl that came up to me and said, Mr. Mayor, I'm 7 this year, and last year I had to use a walker, and this year I can skate by myself.
Oh.
So
And in
25
10
years.
a walker.
Yeah, usually you're a little older when you start with your walker, but in her case, she was starting at 6 and she's done by age 7. But 25 years from now, she will most certainly recall driving through this town, how that rink used to be, whatever's going to iteration the town takes, and that truest lot becomes, a 3-story building, whatever it might be. She'll have that memory for a lifetime. Again, and that takes when, this just demonstrates that we have just this tremendous amount of just a strong group of ordinary people that are doing some really, really extraordinary things. And, and as a matter of fact, the town of Bath is only one of 2 towns in the state of West Virginia that has an ice rink. There's only 2, a synthetic ice rink. We are just one of 2. And it's for reasons like this that we do it to help our children and to help our families. And I want to at least take a moment and thank our community sponsors, which was the Town of Bath On Track Committee, and I thank you, Bree. The Town of Bath Civic Trust, thank you, Councilwoman Hickey. The Tom and Virginia Sealy Foundation, Gad Creek, Valley Health War Memorial Hospital, Hunter's Hardware, Berkeley Springs Rotary, CNB Bank, Pentney Brothers, Roy Service Station, Charlotte's Cafe, the Morgan County Commission, the Morgan Messenger, thank you, Lisa. Travel Berkeley Springs, Delegate George Miller, U.S. Silica, Whole Latte Love Coffee House, the 304 Wild Hogs, James Novak of the Novak Real Estate Team, St. Vincent de Paul Church, and to all our private donors who gave so generously and are continue to give. To my colleague, Rick Weber, thank you for enduring the cold all weekend in support of our children, many of whom, you have taught their parents, and everybody, of course, knew you, and that was great to have you. To our reporter, Susan Webster, and her husband, Pete, for providing equipment, a bucket truck to allow for our market lighting. That was great. Thank you to our town Public Works, Waterworks, Police Department for support. Obviously, we had a great weekend. And from a safety perspective, we had 0 incidents, which is saying something for that many folks in town. So, that was just a great day. Next week, the office will be closed at noon on Christmas Eve. So if you have some business to attend to, just make sure you're in here before noon on Christmas Eve. And I do want to take a moment and Councilman Kessel drafted a letter in regard to the tragedy for both Sarah and Andrew, our National Guardsmen. Sarah, of course, was killed sadly, and Andrew is beginning to make a recovery. And I just would like for him to share that letter with you that we were sending on behalf of the town.
Sure. This was the one to the city of Somersville where Miss Beckstrom was from, and the letter from the town of Bath to their city is: the mayor and council of the town of Bath extend heartfelt condolences to the city of Somersville and to the family and friends of Specialist Sarah Beckstrom following her tragic passing. Specialist Beckstrom embodied the highest ideals of service as a member of the West Virginia Army National Guard. She served with strength, courage, unwavering dedication, fulfilling the soldier's duty to both West Virginia and our nation. In recognition of her sacrifice, the town of Bath honored Specialist Beckstrom with a moment of silence at Town Hall during the most recent council meeting. The mayor and council send prayers of comfort during these difficult times and affirm that the legacy of Specialist Sarah Beckstrom will be remembered with gratitude and respect. So that was a letter we sent
Thank you, Brian.
representing the city of Somersville, and a similar letter to the city of Martinsburg for Staff Sergeant Andrew Wolf, who is recovering.
Thank you. And that letter is signed by all members of council. It's just such a terrible tragedy. I do not care where you stand politically. No one wants to send their sons and daughters off into that situation and have that kind of outcome. It's just ridiculous in the world that we live in.
These letters will mean a lot to the cities that receive them. I would imagine that they will also read them in their council meetings. They're going through a lot, and we've been through things in the town of Bath that other towns have called up, sent letters and like this of condolence, and of we've had some kind of disaster, and it does mean a lot. And so I'm glad that we're doing that.
Well done, Ryan. Thank you, Susan.
While we're thanking people, I think people need to know what your commitment was to this last weekend. You're thanking everybody else. I was there maybe 2.5 hours for 3 days. Greg was there for 4 days from 8 in the morning until 8 at night in that frigid cold. So you need some thanks too. So
Bravo. Bravo.
Yeah, that's way too kind. And thank you, though. It's thoughtful, but it's true. My feet are almost falling out. I figured by April you'll be back to your old self. Gosh, but great. You know what? Worth every ounce of inconvenience to be out there, that's for sure. And so it's just great for the community. On to our committee and board reports with On Track. Mary, is there anything you want to bring us up to date for On Track?
Right now, well, first of all, shout out to On Track because our staff member Bree is the one who is organizing all the beautiful deck the meters, which have been decked. And it's just another thing that makes our little town so special. So that is an effort really that is very aligned with the Main Street mission. And we are planning a mixer for like a kickoff mixer for Bath 250, starting our celebration of our 250 years. And that will take place sometime in early or mid-January. So we're working that out.
Okay. Thank you, Mary. Parks and Rec, next meeting, the 17th at 7 p.m. at the courthouse. There's a good group of folks out there. I think it's worth heading to those meetings once or twice a year, just to kind of get an idea of all the possibilities as far as recreational activities are concerned. Again, for the kids, as we try to, we got some ground to cover as far as having activities for, the athletic piece we cover pretty well in town with football and all sports, but there's some other work to do, and the commission and the Rec and Parks is working to meet those needs. So.
I got the opportunity to talk to one of our representatives, Ashley Moss, and she has wanted to come to meetings. told her between the three of them, take turns coming in like this. But these people who are on this board are very active in their sponsorship. She says, well, now I'm doing bitty buddy everything, the basketball, and they go from one sport to the other in the season. So their evenings are taken up with youth sporting activities a lot. So that's why we don't see them as much, but I do hope they come because they're
And they are
active.
certainly putting in the work. The fields are great. And again, that itty bitty basketball, I've been out there many times.
Yeah.
And that gym is packed with kids of all age groups playing basketball. And it's just, that's a lot of fun actually on a Saturday morning.
Yeah.
Planning Commission.
Dun, dun, dun.
Larry, what do you have for us?
Couple good news stories. We had a good meeting last week. Reviewed, really got everybody caught up to speed. And dun, 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 the ordinance committee has submitted its comprehensive plan information. I've done the initial review of that. Ryan, I'll probably get back to you after the year. But yeah, it's the good foundational stuff and something we can build on. So appreciate that. And again, my echo from the planning side as well. Anecdotally seeing the impact of the last couple weekends, because we have to remember it wasn't just this one. We've been running and gunning for 14 days or so now. So
Seems like the parade was.
yeah, it seems like a lifetime ago, or Cocoa Crawl or whatever.
Yeah, that's
So yeah, exhale, enjoy your Christmas, and thanks for everything you
You know
do.
what I've been thinking is this town really from October through December, we're just kind of a party central or events.
I agree.
We have a couple years now, we've had events on Veterans Day. The past one
Oh,
was
we
just in
did?
the cemetery. We did the depot a couple
We
of
did a
years
wreath
ago.
laying
So
for
it
veterans.
kind of, we've become a fall, Christmas type holiday type event town.
And it clearly shows that this town thrives on volunteerism. I mean, there's not, these are not paid folks that are running any of these organizations from the sports to everything else, to the parade. And thank goodness that we have that level of commitment, and it makes the town work at a very, very high level. So our volunteers were great this year. We're very grateful for them.
Yeah.
So, Rail Trail, what do we have for Rail Trail? Susan, do you want to add a couple thoughts based on where we are on that?
We did, I don't believe Streetscape is doing anything right now. Pete Brown, of course, has submitted reports for both of them. As far as Rail Trail, we're going to be getting together and looking at the RFQs or RFPs for the engineering companies who would like to have the job for the remediation of a lot A1A right behind the depot. We're going to be looking over those proposals and ranking them and like this. That will be Thursday morning at 10 a.m. As far as anything else, it would be in Pete's report. There's not too much other than that going on right now, but that's an important piece because we have to get that done before we do any of the other pretty stuff.
And that just is a collaboration between the town and the county. And we're allowing for all stakeholders to be able to do a review. I mean, basically, you're looking at a presentation of someone's qualifications. Which I basically look at it as class picture day, where you're wearing your best clothes for class picture day, even though you're the baddest kid in the class. It's just hard to tell the best kid from the worst kid in class picture day. So we'll weave through those and figure all that, and we'll come out with the best engineers for that project. So thank you, Susan.
Sure.
All right, on to Train Depot.
Well, the false walls are done in the baggage room. The mini split heating is not in yet, but just having the false walls up makes a difference with the insulation, of course, in that room and the ability to use it. And all of that is coming along piece, at a time. The water situation, we had a water line break, that's all done. Sewer line, we're going to be doing some work on that probably early spring, but it is working. Everything is working. The lighting, my dream has been for a long time to have the streetscape lighting in front of the depot, and hoping to work with streetscape committee and like that, Because what we would like to have, and we have these in front of the courthouse, are the streetscape lights, and there's 2 lights. We want it lit up
Yes.
because it's such a cute building.
And that end of town is just too dark.
It's too
Too
dark, totally
Safe,
too
as you're
dark.
entering town, it should be absolutely much
It
brighter
should
than
be.
that. So we have, and we will definitely address that.
Safety
Good point.
and beauty.
And that
So,
is a dangerous place when you had to come down from 40 to 25, right at that.
right.
Dark.
And plus the corners there aren't square.
No,
So
they're
you've
not.
got, and they never will be. And so, turning onto Williams Street is a little
And
dicey.
that's dark.
And that's real dark. So working on some other things.
Yeah, well, we will solve that, and it'll be as safe as any other part of town. It just takes a little bit of time, but it's, we were concentrating on all
That
those
we have a
things.
plan.
The Landmark Commission, they just met on the 15th yesterday. They had a great meeting. I happened to be here for that. They are pretty much fulfilling all the obligations they need to do before the end of the year, bring us compliant with West Virginia. So great credit to Priscilla Jones and her new team for the yeoman's work that they're putting in. So thank you very much, Priscilla. Madam Clerk, do you have anything for us?
The only thing I have is that there is budget training that's given by the state auditors. That'll be in January. We need to sign up for that, anybody that wants to go.
Okay. All right, Madam Recorder, what do you have for us?
Well, we don't have any building improvement notifications or property use requests, which is not uncommon for this time of year. People are exhaling right now, and if they've got a plan to improve their property, it's probably for spring. So that's not an uncommon thing, so.
Finance?
Finance, okay. We do have a few bills to pay, no matter what. It's not always Christmas, sometimes you gotta pay the bills too. I make a motion that we pay the town of Bath bills in the amount of $37,041.18.
Second.
I have a motion on the floor with a second to pay the town of Bath bills in the amount of $37,041.18. Any discussion? All in favor?
I make a motion that we pay the Berkeley Springs Waterworks bills in the amount of $62,061.86.
Second.
I have a motion on the floor with a second to pay the Berkeley Springs Waterworks bills in the amount of $62,061.86. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Make a motion that we pay the train depot bills in the amount of $1,957.34.
Second.
I have a motion on the floor with a second to pay the train depot bills in the amount of $1,957.34. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
I make a motion that we pay the tree board bills in the amount of $5,000.
Second.
I have a motion on the floor with a second to pay the tree board bills in the amount of $5,000. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Make a motion that we pay the hotel motel distribution in the amount of $2,617.27.
Second.
I have a motion on the floor with a second to pay the hotel motel distribution of $2,617.27. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
And I make a motion that we pay the on-track bills in the amount of $719.
Second.
Thank you. I have a motion on the floor with a second to pay the on-track bills in the amount of $719. Any discussion? I can say that on the on-track bills, that was a collaborative effort with the Historical Society, Travel Berkeley Springs, and the town of Bath to print out the historical property. And then that included the town of Bath 250th logo. So we have thousands of copies of that available for distribution.
And we got everything up that we needed to get up for them?
I'll take care of that. And I'll answer that question.
All right.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. And to answer Rick's question in regard to, we had, we had the blacksmith, Glenn, is it Glenn?
Or-
Thank you. Yeah, he he made all new posts and that type of stuff for a lot of the metal signs around town. So you'll see them. There's one over at Inspired Chaos. Priscilla has one, and several others. So we have these beautiful new pedestals around town. So that was great work. That was a collaborative effort with the Historical Society and the town of Bath also to get that work done.
But you're talking about the historical markers,
Yes,
the original
yes.
100
Yep.
plots.
Yep. Now we have those. They were all days. So you got the new metal signs, and you got the actual pedestals that they go on.
Mhm.
That's really nice that they're all being returned. We are missing many actually. But they will all be in place, and most are. Kate, tree board, give us some good news
Well,
today.
the hazardous tree on Green Street is down. They were there from 7:30 this morning until about 3:34. It was probably one of the most complex trees to take down that I've watched while on the tree board, because the tree was in the wires and it would have been easy to drop limbs or branches on surrounding neighbors' property. But they did a fantastic job, including cleaning up
I
at
was
the
gonna say, if
end.
you get a chance tomorrow, just drop by there. You won't even know
Right.
that they were
They were
there,
there.
except that the tree's gone.
Right, except that the tree is gone. I'm really, really pleased with the work that Truax Tree Services did, because it was a difficult job, and they were so conscientious and made sure that they did it right. No one was hurt, no property damage was done.
That's perfect. Thank you, Kate.
And
Good work.
The tree board is meeting tomorrow at 5:00.
Okay, thank you. Now, Kate, because I know you still have some trees to do. I guess we're expecting the rest of our shipment of trees.
That won't be until spring.
Bringing it. Okay, and then you'll have a plan of, we pretty much know the you have all those
Yes.
locations laid out?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, that's great. Thank you, Kate. Grants?
Grants. I've looked into 2 grants, the T-Mobile Hometown Grant and the West Virginia Community Development Block Grant. We qualify for both. Do you want me to elaborate on all
Yeah,
of
you can
that?
give us a brief on those. Are
So the
important.
T-Mobile Hometown Grant is specifically designed for rural communities like ours and prioritizes downtown revitalization, public access, and infrastructure.
Yeah, great for our,
It would be
For
perfect.
downtown
Re-envision.
refresh.
Right, and for
Perfect.
the Independence Street
Yep.
Thing, and
True.
same with the West Virginia Community Development Block, which is a little more complicated. But both we qualify for, especially once we have the 30% engineering plans completed for that one.
Mhm.
Both grants, it would be best to wait until after the new year to make our position a little stronger. And especially since having engineering plans and clear project scope will improve our competitiveness and reduce the risk of submitting a weak and incomplete application. The grants committee would be responsible for identifying appropriate funding opportunities and coordinating the preparation of applications, and I can draft the grant applications and work collaboratively with you.
You bet.
And then we've got a 50% match for the most urgent repairs to the water facilities, and we're looking for a match on that.
Very good. Good work. Thank you. Officer Stanger,
Yes, sir.
Public Safety, bring us up to date.
So, as of right now, everything is going as planned. The chief's eyes, he's not here. Haven't really talked to him, not really sure what's going on with him, why he's not, but he's off today. And, as far as I know, everything is going as accordingly.
Now, what was your perspective of, you were here for the weekend, how did you feel everything went in town?
Like I said earlier, no accidents, no, nothing happened, so it went really well. I tried to interact with as much people as I could to, introduce myself and community policing
Yeah, absolutely.
with kids and different ones. And it seems that the more that I do that, the more people are getting to know we have a police department and we're here to serve the community. So that's a big thing that definitely trying to work on.
And for those of you that don't know, there was a picture of Officer Stangel that went viral, He was playing basketball with the kids.
Oh, yeah.
So that was great. Thank you for that moment. And also, I just want to forewarn everyone in town, living here, driving, passing through. If you are on your cell phone, Officer Stangel is going to get you.
Hear that?
I heard that.
I'm telling you, we are very much on top of that. That is just, that is such a dangerous thing to do in a small town like this where you're stopping every 20 yards.
Mhm.
And if you're on the phone, you're going to cross into a crosswalk and you're going to hit a car. So if you're on your phone, Madam Reporter,
On it,
Reporter,
on it.
Lisa,
Dick,
don't do it.
Yeah.
Where does it get-
Yes.
Don't. You write a ticket for that? Where does the revenue go? Does it go to the county, the state?
It's broken out between the two.
Is it?
Yes, there's so much that town gets as a fine and then the rest goes to the state, yes.
Certainly not a revenue generator, Lisa, at all. These are things, this is trying to reduce any possibility that a person is injured crossing the street. I mean, 522 is very dangerous to cross, and people are looking down. If you look down for a split second on 522, you're rolling right through.
Yeah.
And we have tremendous amounts of folks, in town. We have a lot of folks that are from different areas, New Jersey, other states, and they are not stopping for pedestrians in the walkway to begin with. So a lot of those folks need to be retrained when they get into town as well. So again, this is all just preventative policing.
And I'll tell you, it's one thing when you get the fines. I'm speaking from experience. One thing getting the fine. The other thing is that you don't think about is your insurance, because insurance, of course, picks up anything. And the insurance is what really nails you, because they consider that more dangerous than speeding.
I can see
Cell
why.
phone use, and it is. It's being negligent,
Yeah, there's
So-
the Morgan County Sheriff's Office, the Town of Bath Police Department, West Virginia State Police are extraordinarily vigilant when it comes to this town, 24 hours a day. They are always here. That's right. Straighten up.
Straighten up.
Straighten up. Or just if you're coming from somewhere else, pass through our town and don't stop. You've got bad
They're not going
intentions.
straight up.
So in that regard, we used to have signs up at the crosswalks that said that you need, like state law was you had to stop, and they're not there anymore, right?
We have a couple issues. That's a good question. And there's actually several pieces. There's several pieces to that question. One is the state is not allowing us to have the same crosswalks we had in the past. And again, we're fighting that. And for whatever reason, they don't understand. They need to come here and understand what you can come on a Monday and take a look around and think, oh, you don't need it. Come on a Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, exactly.
So
But like at the Hunters, like going down to Hunters, there's not a sign there. That's a busy one. I don't know. I
you have to take,
in the crosswalks that we do have, I haven't seen any signs
let me,
lately, and it just seems like we all know that.
Right.
And we all stop, but it just seems like a lot of people
Well,
don't.
you know what, then that's an easy fix. So we'll just make sure that we go out and just, Larry, when you're out, if we're missing a sign, let us know and we'll get that installation done. So thank you.
Great.
Yeah, I
Thank you.
would suggest, you've done a wonderful job of putting the blinking notification at the north end of town. That's long overdue, and that's a wonderful thing. I think probably at the crosswalk, what you might want to implement, you can actually get those, the signs, lighted signs that says crosswalk. And the sign, the physical signs you have there now, unfortunately, people just drive by. They're not really reading. I mean, they're probably reading their text, you know what I'm saying? And so the fact that you have somebody, there. So if you look into possibly putting the lighted sign, crosswalk, and they're.
Technology is your friend.
Yep.
And you need to use technology nowadays, particularly when you just have a generation of folks that aren't paying attention to what they're doing.
No, they're not.
And they're used to looking at flashing lights and stuff from doing video games and their phones, that might actually get their attention first. So at our public safety meeting, I'll make sure that we'll get Sandy to kind of do some research and see how much those crosswalk flashes. And again, we're evolving with all those safety issues and addressing them. So that's a good ad, Pete. Thank you for that. Beth, cemetery?
Cemetery, Town of Bath Cemetery Management and Maintenance Incorporated met today. This is the organization that sponsored the Barstow event on November 11th, Veterans Day. And we are looking forward to our next activities. We've got several things in the hopper, so you'll want to watch out for that. And the cemetery committee meets this week at 1:30 on Thursday.
Very good. Thank you. Great work on the Barstow. That was a great day. And the cemetery looks, thank you. The cemetery looks great. Very well
It's
maintained.
about the same kind of weather as we had over the weekend.
No, actually, ours was summer.
Yours was warm.
Yours was
Yours was warm.
this weekend. It was.
Councilman Weber, Public Works,
First
you've been
thing,
busy.
trash. over the holidays, we picked up, obviously not on Thursdays, it will be picked up on Wednesday and Fridays, just like we always do when it falls on a Thursday, so it's nothing new. At the last meeting, we talked about I don't know what to call it, other than the neighborhood watch lady that goes around Green Street
Mhm.
and puts up signs, and every day she walks down Green Street, it doesn't matter whose property it is or the church, she picks up all the garbage, she carries rakes and shovels down Green Street. I stopped her the other day and got her name. Can we give her some kind of an award or have her come to a meeting?
I gave her my address.
Did you? I'll send her up. It might be far to walk to your house.
We will give her a recommendation letter from the mayor
Yeah,
of
there
the
you
town
go.
of Bath on her good work. So you got her address and name.
I just have her name. And once we want to do it, we can have her come to a meeting.
Okay.
Right, and make a presentation.
You tell her
take a
that
picture.
she has to appear before council, but no, I'm happy.
Yeah, there you go.
I can find her name. She's probably got a water bill.
She can pick up,
I'm sure she does.
yeah, she can pick up trash all the way here.
All the way to
Just
I love that, actually.
garbage collection. No, I just thought, I
So
saw her
what-
the other day.
So
Here she
you're
was,
hiding the punchline. What's her name?
Joy Butts.
Joy.
Joy.
Butts.
I went to school with
B-U-T-Z.
her.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
we went to school with Joy.
All right. When the weather gets a little warmer, we'll continue with one block at a time.
Okay.
Obviously, they tried to do it last weekend, and it just froze.
Yeah.
So, have not heard back from Potomac Edison, even though I called them 3 times and sent 3 or 4 texts to the guy. We're just waiting for their plan. We sent them the 54, our first 54,
Okay.
with some clarifications that Pete and I sent to him before Thanksgiving, and we haven't heard back.
I
So,
would think their guys are probably pretty busy this time of year with the weather and weather-related
Power
issues. And
outages,
then getting them up on the poles and the freezing cold.
yeah, so we'll wait. We'll give him till the meeting.
He should respond. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
good. He's very good, though.
He impressed me. And I just wrote down here all the stuff that our crew was involved with.
Well,
Cocoa Crawl, Winter Parade, Christmas Market, skating. Not only did they show up and do their stuff, but their attitude was great. I mean, if I had to be out there for those days, I wouldn't have been as happy as and carefree as they were.
Great team.
I put down the Green Street tree, which we already know about. Tomorrow, we're going on a field trip up to Morgantown to look at some garbage trucks. And we have some lists from Rick Hoffman of what he thinks we need. And we need to make sure that they understand when they're talking to us that what our geographical location is like with the hit going up the hills and hitting the bottom of the truck. And we need to make sure that it's what we need, which we haven't gotten the last 2 times.
They'll understand that in Morgantown.
Yeah, they
Oh,
should.
they'll understand it. Yeah, they'll get it.
Okay,
Yeah.
and Public Works meets 2:30 on Thursday, and that is it.
Rick, thank you. Thank you to the guys. I mean, they are just out. I mean, our most recent hire, Richard, is just absolutely fantastic. And that's just a great group of
Yeah,
folks.
because it's the holidays, Christmas and New Year's.
All
They're
right,
picking up
Thursday.
Wednesday and Thursday and not Friday.
You guys got it all sorted out down that end?
Yes, Ryan's got it.
Figure it out on your
Yeah.
own.
Ordinance, Ryan, what do you have for us?
Yes, I wanted to provide some high-level information, brief out on an upcoming ordinance we're going to be doing, that we're finishing drafting up and hope to bring out in January. And this is for the vacant structure registry ordinance. So this is something that many towns and cities around West Virginia have implemented. And just to set forth what the problem is we'd be addressing, an uninspected and unmonitored vacant building may present a fire hazard, may provide temporary occupancy by transients, including drug users and traffickers, may provide a nuisance from pests and vermin, may detract from private and or public efforts to rehabilitate or maintain surrounding buildings, and that the health and safety and welfare of the public is served by regulation of such vacant buildings. So again, the idea is not occupied buildings, vacant buildings in the town limits, such that where they would be, where no person's actually residing in them, either owning or renting. There's no business operating. There's no utilities on. The water, electric's off. It's unsafe as inspected by the town engineer, which I believe we're can be hiring,
Yes.
or police or fire.
Mhm.
So these are the type of structures within the town we'd be looking to put on vacant structure registry, with the idea that there'll be an annual fee structure to be on that, and to not be on it would be to essentially occupy it, have it be a business, rehabilitate it, sell it. And so that's the overview of that, and just the background. We piloted out of Wheeling in 2009, allowed by the state, and it seems like it's a success around the state in addressing this type of problem. Maybe if you want to add.
Yeah, I do. I mean, if you are trying on your property, this ordinance really does not apply to you. This applies, there's some properties in this town, and I've spoken to some of these property owners that are not from here and do not care about us. They are holding on to these properties with the expectation that someday they're gonna make a lot of money on it. And that's that is no reason to hold on to a property, let it fall into disrepair. And now they will be subject to potential liens, fines, and everything else, and to get these properties, as Ryan said, either remediated. Our goal is to get them sold to someone who cares.
Or rented.
We really want them renovated and brought up to standard. We have a housing shortage in this town, and there are 10 or 12 houses that could become duplexes or potential apartments or more commercial space. So there's a lot of opportunity for this. We're not going to be heavy-handed. We don't need to be heavy-handed because some of the problems we have are clear problems to everyone that walks by those properties every day. And we're all of us collectively are tired of looking at it. And again, before we, I will personally make phone calls to folks before they receive this letter to let them know what to expect. And I've had enough with it because there's no reason for them to do anything with the property, and this is going to give them reason to take action in one form or another. So good work on that, Ryan. All right,
That's it.
thank you. Mary, Waterworks.
Well, as Reba shared, we do have 50% match money. Who's the origin?
This is the West Virginia Water Development Authority.
Thank you. I wanted to make sure I cited them properly. And the engineers identified an initial scope of work that we're just going to ballpark at about $650,000 for short-term things that we must take care of to keep our water utility viable and in good working order. So we are now going to partner, and I will follow up with Region 9 to have them help us find the matching funds so we can get that initial work done, while I'm also working on longer term resources for the approximate $8 million needed to fully upgrade our plant.
Is that it? That's the shortest water report we've ever had.
Well, I gave you a lot last time. I figured I'd give everybody the next.
Well, no, we're good right there. I don't mind.
Don't egg her on.
That's good. We're
Because you'll get
no, that's been, a lot of good work's been done in the past week to get this, to get the momentum that it's. We're now at this part of the meeting. If anyone would like to address council, this is your opportunity to do. Pete?
I'm gonna do my best Perry Mason. Your Honor, I'm gonna present it to evidence. This is not a criticism. This is nothing more than an observation. I've been observing Berkeley Springs since American Soldier brought me and put me in this little lot down here in front of 7-Eleven. So I've been up here a long time paying attention to everything and invested in everything. So it can't matter. So this is an observation. That observation basically is the trees that are planted. Now we have the adjoining property. We're not in front of the property owner. We own the adjoining property. So what I find myself doing during the mowing season is that I mow that stretch of which at times it gets to be pretty tall. And I take care of maintain that with a mower. At this point, in order to do that, I have to take my time and use a weed whacker, which doesn't well. But that is just the easy part. I would like to note that the tree trunk is 40 inches from the car door. The average car door is 47 inches. So what happens is, when you open that door, and somebody will, because it's not a measured site, somebody's gonna open, I'm sure we've all experienced that. So now the tree's there. I assure you that what's going to happen, this is the measurement of the door, that as this tree grows, it's going to go like this also. Now, if you're a driver and you're getting out of the car, then you have no problem. It's all free sale. But the U.S. Department of Transportation tells me that there's 1.4 people in every car. So that fourth of a person has got to get out into the tree.
Who planted the trees?
Yeah, who did plant the
Wait,
trees?
these are,
I don't know, but
these are our beautiful sweet gums, and you know what, and I am, look, there is nothing more important to me than this town to get back to its original tree canopy, which we never will, but this is the process of doing it. If these spots are marked accordingly, it's no different than having a metal parking meter on the passenger side door on Washington Street.
But-
Where you can bang your door into
but
a wall,
meters do not go like this.
but it doesn't matter
No,
because it's the height.
these are columnar trees. They're not gonna be wide. They're gonna, that's they're bred to stay narrow and tall.
But I understand, this is what's going to happen.
Well, it depends on how the spots are marked off. So they have not been marked
So
off.
anyhow,
So-
it's an observation which will be
fair.
a problem because people are
Can I
going
see
to
the
park
picture?
there. And I think they are going to get out of their car and they're going to have a concern or issue about it.
Well, I'm going to cover your first point, which is the grass. You do not have to worry about the grass because we have a groundskeeper for the town of Bath that starts in the spring.
That'll be
So I do not want you out there cutting grass, having a heart attack.
I won't.
So I've solved 50% of your problems been solved already.
But
Nice move. Pete, that was slick.
But the point is, I think for what it's worth, trees are great and they can be planted many other places. I just think that that's not the place for the trees. So simply because I assure you that now, once you get out of that car, you're going to have to transverse around the car. So now as you do that, you're going to push the limbs out so you can get around and get out on the street.
Well, this has never been a safe place to navigate up and down there to begin with.
But anyhow, those are just my observations.
Very fair. And we will,
I believe
Public Works and the tree board, we will have a discussion about this.
I believe it's a problem, and I believe somebody can get out of their car at some point in the next year or two as these bloom, and they're going to get out and they're going to put their head or eye into one of those limbs, and then they're going to come to the town.
You should be able to see them before they poke. And as Kate has mentioned, they do grow up, not
Okay.
out.
Well,
Well,
So
they're
we'll
pruned
see.
at a certain level, that you have to be 6'6" to catch a branch. But anyway, good valid point. Is that it?
That's pretty much it.
Rick,
Thank you.
you want to hold on to that and we'll
When is
talk
that?
about,
Exhibit A.
make sure we get that as a signed grass cutting area. Kate and I will talk about this
Sure.
from tree board perspective. But thank you for bringing that up.
We can make certain that the canopy
Yeah.
is raised higher.
Yeah.
We'll call this the Pete Moss Project.
No, don't do that.
Oh, absolutely. Lisa, did you get that?
Yeah.
No, thank you. MOSS.
Oh, yeah.
The tree Scrooge, this tree Grinch, Pete Moss reported at the town council meeting. I can write this lead for you.
Yeah.
Anyone else have anything? Yes, please.
I have a question.
Sure.
I'm wondering about the wreaths that are
Yes.
hung on the light poles and wondering who is responsible for hanging them.
Okay, the wreaths are done by the Bath Christmas Project, and that is not associated with or connected to the town of Bath. That's not our project. That is, they get that approval from Potomac Edison to hang those wreaths on those poles. Those poles are generally, almost all of them are Potomac Edison poles, property of Potomac Edison. We have no authority over anything that is attached to those poles because they're not town property. We own the smaller Victorian style lampposts are ours, but those belong to Potomac Edison, and that is a separate agreement that the Bath Christmas Project, also not to be connected to the Bath Christmas Market, again, unrelated entities, just close names. So that's an agreement that they have with with Potomac Edison.
Okay, so in terms of the signs that are up, the sponsorship
Yeah.
signs, that's Potomac Edison?
No, the sponsorship the sponsorship signs are also put up there by the Bath Christmas Project.
Okay,
That's
And the town of Bath has no
we have no,
opinion
well,
about
it's,
that?
they have it's First Amendment rights. They can hang what they want, but they don't come to us. They don't bring those signs to us saying, do you approve or disapprove of any? I have no idea what you're talking about, to be honest with you, as far as that relates to that. I've driven down the street and noticed there's something hanging there, but I've never really looked.
Okay, well, there are a lot of people that have, and it's the one on Fairfax Street, and it's hanging right across from the Fairfax Coffee House, and it says sponsored by the VDARE Foundation.
Yeah, the only way I can't answer the question because what is the intention of that? I don't know. We don't interact with them as far as it relates to our Christmas projects.
Okay, all right, but my question, I mean, so it reflects on the town, and that's my question for you guys, that you
Well,
would
there's
have
not-
no, you can
We don't
do
have the
nothing.
authority to infringe upon their constitutional rights. We don't control the content of those signs. Anybody can hang a sign or a flag. People place flags that offend people all over town. So what am I going to do? Run through town, pull up every flag, pull up every sign? I'm infringing upon everyone's constitutional rights. If someone wants to do something where it has a negative impact upon their business, they can do it. If the Christmas project, they receive some kind of financial compensation for the sponsor of that particular wreath, I can't deny them that opportunity. Again, we have no communication with them. They are just that's the project that they've taken on, and that's an agreement they have with Potomac Edison. And Potomac Edison and I would actually recommend calling Potomac Edison because I don't know any of those answers. I'm sorry, what is your name?
Carol.
Carol.
And so
I'm sorry,
can we
Carol.
contact the Bath Christmas
Yeah, you
Project?
can certainly come. I don't have their contact information.
Well, I
Sure,
know
it's
who's responsible.
Yeah, I would, if you had, and I think that, that's a legitimate concern. I mean, if the messaging that's on there, as far as the information that any of us have, and what has been presented to us collectively as a community is that this is a organization that no longer has operations and is in the process of dissolving their corporation. That's what's been presented to all of us. And that's the information that I have and you probably have.
Well, they shouldn't exist, and that's why
Well,
they're,
I
and
can't-
that's why there's a
Everything's
lawsuit.
subjective in
That's
this world,
why
it's
there's
your
a
opinion.
lawsuit, that's right.
Right, and
There
and
is a
again,
current
you're right.
lawsuit, but they're not supposed to be a foundation. And so
Well,
they've sponsored something.
Carol, again,
Okay. Okay.
I have a feeling that might have been like a dated, from when VDARE actually hadn't been decimated. I have a feeling that is not a brand new sign, but they just hung it because it was in their inventory.
I've never seen
They
a
stated-
sign, any sponsorship sign on any wreath in this town before.
Yeah, those, and
Got it.
that I
So,
can, Carol,
it's
you're
not-
right, because those are new. They were not hung last year.
They are not.
So, and again, again, I'm honoring your, what you're saying. I'm telling you what our course of action is very, very limited.
Okay.
Again, we have no ownership or authority on any of those polls.
Okay. And messages put out.
There's a lot of messaging on the extreme left and extreme right, Carol. It saddens me all the time. It has a negative impact on this town.
Wow.
Every day I get it. I hear from folks like you all the time on my phone or call me or hit me in the street. Why don't you do this? Why don't you take that flag down? Why do they have that written on their window? Why? A town full of critics that offer zero solutions.
I don't criticize any of that. This is the only thing that I've seen, and because of who they are. That is the only, I understand First Amendment rights, I do. But when the Bath Christmas Project decides that that's an important thing to put up, I have a problem with the Bath Christmas Project. So I guess I just need to take it up with them.
Yeah, and I would say, I mean, again, is that within the spirit and the context of the holiday? Of course not.
Is what?
That sponsorship sign is just
Yeah, no,
within
it's
the spirit.
not.
Right, exactly. That's my point.
Yeah.
That's my point. But it always shocks me when people attach any kind of political viewpoint to their business because you're going to offend 50% of the population. one way or the other. And that's like
Well,
risky for
just
all
to
of
me,
us.
I mean, yeah, to me, Reed's a Reed's. I mean, it's like, they're not supposed to have sponsorship signs on them. And I don't care whose business.
I
Do
agree.
the
It's
other
written
ones,
on
because
it.
when I was walking my dog today, I wanted to look and see like what might have been the offending item.
It's right across from Fairfax Coffee House.
Right.
What
But
does
all
it
the
say?
rest of them,
It
do the rest of them have
says Merry
sponsorship
Christmas
signs on them?
sponsored by VDare Foundation.
Do the rest of them have sponsorship?
I don't know.
Oh,
There's one right next to it. I didn't.
Does it have a sponsorship sign?
And
There's
that's
probably
offensive.
something I didn't
Why?
look.
Why
don't
is this offensive to you?
I'm sorry,
Can you explain why this is offensive?
the VDare Foundation?
Mhm.
I can. Do you want me to do
Sure,
that?
go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, I think they don't represent the true ideals of Christmas, for one thing, is I think they represent something that is anti-Christian. And I think the idea that they're putting a Merry Christmas sign up with what they believe is just, it's offensive. I mean,
What is
they,
anti-Christian about their message?
Do you
do
know?
you know about
do you know
VDare?
about
Do you
VDare?
know
I
who
do.
they are?
I'm just curious about
Okay,
how
all
that's
right,
offensive
well,
to you
that they're
specifically.
trying to establish a white nation, for one thing. That's what they're after. And I just don't think this town needs to support an organization that supports a white Christian nation.
but
And we are not.
be
Please,
clear,
right?
we're
We're
not.
not.
We're not.
Be careful.
I'm not saying
Be
you,
careful.
town council,
Okay.
I'm saying town.
Or even the town of Bath as a municipality is not supporting it. This is a Bath Christmas project.
No, I'm
But
not
that-
talking about that. I'm
Yeah.
just talking with
Right.
her. I don't think our town should support that.
But you probably heard a lot of questions. I know I've seen a lot of questions.
I have not.
People asking, just what Carol asked today, did the town of Bath have some association with
And
it?
I think I
So,
answered that
Yes,
question.
you did.
Thank you.
Yes, you did. So it doesn't need to go further here
Right.
necessarily, because you did answer a question for which there wasn't clarity.
Right.
Who did it, who paid for it, who put them up and all that. Those were the questions.
Mhm.
Right.
And you've answered them, I think,
Thank you, Lisa.
accurately, to my knowledge.
Can we
That's
list it, can we get a list of people that were offended? and
You want
kinda-
to take that on?
No, I'm just
No.
asking.
How much
what-
time you
I'm
have?
just curious whether you have that, because we need to talk. to
Well, we live in a world where there
Well,
are as many opinions as there are drops of water in the ocean
Yep.
right now.
And you know this about the
It's
Virginia
just-
Dare Society. You can go online and you can find
It's
what you
VDare.
want to
It's
find.
VDare,
What
not
you can-
Virginia Dare.
What you can find is this. One, that it is suggesting a white supremacist society. The other is that it's strictly looking for controlled immigration.
Yeah.
So somewhere in between there is what it really is.
I
And it's
we
not
need-
it
I think we
anymore.
need to
It's
stop.
It's
gone.
nothing anymore.
I'm not prepared to argue VDare's position right now.
And we
I
don't-
mean,
and we don't need to have
if you want that, we can do that.
I have
But
no-
right
It's
now,
not there.
this is what
The Dare is no longer.
they
Entity.
are.
That's
They
not true,
are.
but
It's
that's
I
not.
think it's odd
They're
that they
not
sponsored
supposed to.
something even though the organization is
Yeah,
defunct.
yeah, we're not going
Right,
to solve
exactly.
this problem.
So
Carol,
what I'm
thank you
gonna
for
say
bringing this up.
is that we will let the people know that have been asking us. Glad to let them know that it has nothing to do with the town.
That's correct.
And we'll turn it over to the Bath Christmas Fund.
Thank you.
That's all I needed to know.
Thank you for, presenting it.
Thanks.
And with that, anyone else? I wish, the best. Thank you all for attending, and we'll see you after the first.
Have a good holiday.
Happy New Year.
Holidays, everybody.
26. Holy crap.